Welcome back to the Barbecue Lab. My name is David Gafford, and today we're just going to do some at-home cooking. We're cooking on our Lone Star Grill 24x48, and today we're going to do a chuck roast. We're smoking this chuck roast for a burrito bowl that we're going to have for dinner, and we thought you guys might want to follow along. See, we've got our charcoal started here. We're going to cook this with wood on a bed of charcoal for this cook today, and we're expecting it'll probably take 7 or 8 hours when it's all said and done. So let's get cooking. So we're going to use some hickory wood that we just grabbed a bag at Walmart. You can get this at any of your major box stores around here. Today we're going to cook with a little bit of hickory and a little bit of cherry. And we're just going to grab this piece of wood and we're going to go ahead and warm it up by setting it on opposite side of the firebox to let it warm up across the fire. That way when we roll that piece of wood across the fire, it's going to ignite almost instantly. All right, well, we picked up a chuck roast from our local grocery store. We got fresh thyme here. And this chuck roast we're going to be using for burrito bowls, like we said earlier. So we're going to get this out of the package here and get this dude seasoned up. This is about a 3-pound chuck roast. And as far as chuck roasts go, there are better chuck roasts. I mean, if you look at this one, we've got a nice, big, huge vein of fat in the middle. That's okay though, because remember, fat is flavor, and we're gonna render a lot of that out during this cook. So we're gonna just go ahead and get this dude seasoned up. Now, we're not using any kind of a binder today to keep the seasonings on, and we're gonna keep this pretty simple. We're gonna go ahead and go with salt, pepper, garlic, and a little bit of Montreal steak seasoning. So for our salt and our garlic and our onion powder, we're just gonna use this fajita seasoning from Fiesta. Now this stuff is, you can get a lot of this for not that expensive. This is actually some really good seasoning for salt, pepper, and garlic that you can get really pretty cheap. So we're gonna put this on here, and we're gonna apply it pretty liberally because this is a pretty sizable hunk of beef, and it can take it. I'm gonna make sure you get the sides as well and get it seasoned all the way around, both sides. Now you notice I didn't trim any fat off of this thing, and that's because basically we're gonna pull this when it's done for burrito bowls. Now, this doesn't really have any pepper in it. So for pepper, I just have some coarse ground black pepper that we're gonna add to the top. And beef loves pepper. So if you're cooking a recipe with beef, don't leave out the pepper. That's gonna be a lot of where you're gonna get some of that really, really good flavor and really good bark. So feel free to get it seasoned all around. Pepper, salt, garlic, all those things, it's gonna be good. And then for a little bit of rough texture on top, that's where I like to use this Montreal steak seasoning. We've just got some bigger chunks of all those things. We've already put it on there. I'm just gonna pat it in here a little bit, get that crust going. And for the Montreal steak, I don't usually put that on the sides. I'll usually just keep it on the top and the bottom. And as we cook this, I'm actually gonna flip it over so we're getting even cooking on both. But we're putting this on the Lone Star Grill today, offset. We're using a little bit of cherry, a little bit of hickory, and we should have a good flavor going on. So let's get this dude on the grill. All right, we've got the fire going and the Lone Star's up to 275. We've rolled over our most recent log, and we need to go ahead and put another log on to warm. And as we do that, we're gonna go ahead and start using this cherry wood that I picked up at Academy Sports. And if you look, we've got some B&B cherry that's kiln dried, which means you have a consistent moisture point throughout the whole entire bag. And we're gonna start using this cherry to get some smoke and some really good color on that roast. So this is what we're gonna be using, and we're just gonna take this, put it on the opposite side so we can start warming up. That way when we roll it over onto the fire, it's gonna catch almost instantly, and we're not gonna have a lot of that bad, nasty white smoke through our whole entire cook. All right, so we've had this chuck roast on the grill for about 3.5 hours now, and it's about time to pull it off and put it in the pan so we can braise it the rest of the way. So I've got these nitrile gloves, but I've got some cotton glove liners underneath so I can just grab this thing and bring it over. And so let's see what it looks like. And what we've got going on here is that this rub is set. It's looking fantastic. We've got a great color. If I actually put my finger on it, you can see we don't have hardly any transfer. We've got this thing right where we want it. It's got fantastic color. The rub is set in. Now we're just gonna take it and put it in this pan and we're gonna braise it. All right, so I'm gonna grab this off the smoker. We're gonna get it in this pan. You can see it's actually reduced in size a little bit. We started out with a 3-pound roast and it's starting to reduce some of that fat. It's actually dripping off a little bit. It's looking delicious. All we're gonna do is we're gonna add some beef broth. We've got about a can, about 16 ounces of beef broth. We're just gonna layer this over the top of it and across the sides. And that's all we're gonna do. We're not gonna do anything super complex with this, but this is just a good eaten chuck roast, not one that we're doing for competition. We're not looking for that one bite. We're looking for a whole chuck roast we're gonna eat. So all I'm gonna do, put that broth on top. I'm gonna grab this foil. Go ahead and foil the top of this pan. We're gonna tuck this dude in for a couple more hours. Now we're not actually looking to take any more smoke on this piece of meat. It's taken all the smoke it's gonna get. So now it's all about maintaining just an even temperature. We're gonna try to keep it right at that 275 and let this thing braise and let it keep rolling. All right, so our thermometer says we've hit our desired temperature. We've looked to get this right at around 206 to 210, and that's exactly what we've hit. So it's time to get this thing out. And we don't always trust temperature. We want to actually trust the probe of the thermometer and see if it actually is going to probe tender. So that's what we're going to do. Let's pull it out. All right, let's get this dude open. Let off a little steam here. All right, let's see how this dude looks. Oh, it's probing nice. Sliding in and out like butter. Look at that. That's exactly what we're looking for. Yep, internal, right where we want it. It's probing good. Yeah, in and out, nice and clean. So we're going to call that done. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and pull out this meat probe. And we're going to cover this up and let this sit and rest for a while. We're going to go ahead and give this a good hour to 2 hour rest. I know it's hard, but this is the thing that's going to make this actually really, really good. So we're going to go ahead and take this and set this aside in a dry cooler. And once it's in a dry cooler, we're going to let it sit, let some of the juices go back into the meat. Then we're going to pull it and have some great burrito bowls. All right, we've let this chuck roast rest for about an hour and a half, and that's about all I can take. So we get to see the fruits of our labor now. So let's go ahead and dive in here and see what we've got. All right, this chuck roast is looking gorgeous. It has shrunk in size quite a bit, but still there's a lot of good chuck roast there. The bark looks gorgeous. It smells so good. What we're going to do is we're going to pull this apart and see how it actually looks for our burrito bowls. And as we pull it, you can see that fat is rendered. There's still a little bit of that juicy fat there, but look at that. Look at that smoke ring that's in there. Oh man, that's going to look good. I'm going to take a little, this little chef choice right here. I'm going to tell you, you don't have to always go brisket when you're looking to do some kind of pulled beef. Chuck roast is where it's at, guys. I really like this, and this is going to be delicious for our burrito bowls. So here's the deal. Just remember what we did. We went through and we took about a 3-pound chuck roast. That 3-pound chuck roast, we smoked it on the Lone Star Grillz 24x48. We smoked it with some hickory, a little bit of cherry, and we smoked it for about 3.5 hours before we covered it up and we braised it in this braising liquid. This thing has broken down. It's pulling nicely. It's gonna be delicious in these burrito bowls that we're getting ready to have. All we did is once we finished the braising process, we let it get up to about 208, 210. Then we went ahead and let it rest for about 90 minutes, and that's where some of the magic really happens. It comes back down, absorbs some of that moisture, becomes super, super moist. We're gonna have some great burrito bowls. So if you like what you've seen here today, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like button. We'd love to show you all the videos we're gonna be doing. We'll be putting out a new one about one every week here on the Barbecue Lab. We want to say thank you for joining us. We look forward to seeing you next time.